What a wonderful surprise! Allah, Alicia, it's true, we were preparing you a surprise with such a joy. We were coming up with ideas for a gift. And it feels really nice that you are giving us this interview on your birthday. And as usual, my students have several questions for you. They come up with quite complex questions. I suspected that. Yes, people often ask questions about the fact that there are identical psychological portraits based on the same date of birth. Have you ever met anybody with exactly your date of birth? Yes, quite often. First of all, I had students in my classes, brother and sister, they're twins. They were born on March 23rd too, even the same year as mine. So they had exactly the same portrait. Then I had another student who was younger than me, but with the exactly same portrait. Yes, with the exactly same portrait because she was younger in a such way that the third position in her portrait was also the higher priestess. Then the partner of my daughter had also the same portrait. That's fun. Yes, also my astrology teacher. He didn't have exactly the same portrait, but he was also born on March 23rd. I can say, for example, about all these people that all of them wrote at least one book. That's one example. All of them have had an experience of separation with their partners in their lives, and all of them teach now or have been teaching before. The fact that people have the same portrait, it's not everything. The portrait is a potential we have, but how we will be implementing these potential possibilities, it already depends on us and on the environment in which we will be growing up. It is understandable that a person who was born in Poland in 1959 and a person who also was born in the United States in 1959, their environment, life, and education can be so different that their lives would not be exactly identical, of course. And so on, so it also plays a role. Is there something in your life that you wanted to try but you haven't tried it yet? Yes, jumping out of a plane with a parachute. I promised to myself that I would do it on my 70th birthday. You can do it earlier. No, I don't have time to do it earlier. I keep thinking that when I'm 70, I will retire and then I will have time. In Poland, there is a woman who jumped out of a plane for the first time when she was 85 years old. So at 70, I will still be young. Yes. Can you please tell me, do you have true friends and old enemies? Yes. So, if a person is someone, they will have friends and enemies. Friends, I'm probably quite sensitive in this area compared to other people in Poland in general. For me, friendship is a very important topic. I think it's probably because I'm half Russian. And friendship relationships are always long term for me, they last for a long time. I don't have too many friends that I can say, yes, they are a true friend. But all of these friendships has started in the last century. And of course, my best friend in the world, she lives in Moscow, Russia. It is Lena Rusakova. In Poland, I also have friends. But it is understandable, the age. A year and a half ago, my very good friend Ulia has died. So in friendship, I'm very like. And the enemies, I hope they exist. I just hope, because every strong personality should have enemies. I guess they don't have enough of courage in order to declare to me that they are my enemies. But I congratulate them. I love them very much. An enemy is also a needed person. That's great. Is it possible that a person who practices in the field of esoterics would be poor? No, no, because it is against of esoteric principles. And I will also say, I'm also sure about the fact that a person who practices in the field of esoterics cannot be extremely rich, like billions of euro, because one state or the other state would say that there is an imbalance. A person who practices in the field of esoterics needs to try to be balanced inside and create a balanced relationship with the surroundings in the world. We live in a physical world. This is why we also need to get accomplished in the material things. So, if a person has enough of intelligence, they need to live comfortably, the way how they understand it. If a person who practices in the field of esoterics is poor, it's like an anomaly. Do you have any people who are respected and exemplary authority to you? Someone who you respect? Yes, the people who I met in life personally. The main important authority for me was my grandfather. My grandfather was raising me. My parents were not as involved in my upbringing. He was a person with a unique honesty, decency, and fairness. The type of person I became, it's because of him. And maybe some not so positive traits like stubbornness I also got from him. And mental authorities for me, people who I respect, people who I didn't meet in person but who are well known and dear to me and become a respected person. It's the Mother Teresa from Calcutta, of course, it's definitely Mahatma Gandhi, it's definitely Albert Schweitzer. There are a lot of people like that. The people who are like our Polish latest recipient of Nobel Prize, Olga Tokarczuk, and her books that impress me a lot. There are a lot of people like that. Okay, what was the most valuable advice you ever received? What do you consider as the most valuable advice? Be yourself. I don't remember who exactly gave me this advice. It was not just a person. It was 90s. I was going to Moscow to attend a conference that was organized by wonderful Nikolai Kamilevich Strachuk. I was worried how should I be? How should I behave? I am a small, little person. I'm going to this conference in Moscow. My God, what I will be doing there? I didn't have as much money with me then, so I was traveling in a strange way. First, from Poland, I arrived to Brest, Belarus, because the tickets from Belarus to Russia were cheaper than from Poland. I went from the one part of the train station to another part, and I bought a ticket for a sleeper train. It was 20 hours of traveling then, and I was surprised that in these trains there were no separate rooms for women and men. And it happened so that I was traveling on the train in the sleeping room with a man, very attractive man. So I went to bed. I was in an alpha state, half asleep, and I was thinking about how to be in this conference. And I heard the voice that told me, be yourself. Just be yourself. You don't need to remember how to behave and how to present yourself. Just be yourself. So I followed this advice already for more than 30 years. In difficult situation, what does motivate you and helps you to make a decision when it's difficult? What helps me to make a decision? I don't know. I never have difficulties with making decisions. Oh, you are not a Libra, are you? It's probably just a gift I have. Whenever there is a situation when I need to make a decision, I just simply make a decision. And then later I think what would come out of it. I usually get it right, maybe because I always listen to my intuition. It's very important to me. So, what helps me in difficult situations? I think it's my stubbornness and perseverance. It's on one hand, and on the other hand, if I see that something doesn't go the way I want, first I would try to pursue it intentionally to try to achieve it. But if it doesn't work, then I do a little esoteric and psychological procedure. I go to bed, I think about the steps that I already made. I also ask myself if I can do anything else, and if I receive an answer no, then I say, Dear God, I did everything I could. Now I leave it in your hands. It's your turn to work. And that's it. After that, I don't worry and struggle anymore. It's like in the current situation with the conference. I just said it like that, and now I just wait for the next development in the situation. I did everything I could. I even got a visa. But if the borders are closed, yes, it's unfortunate. But we will be hoping maybe. Yes, let's see how it goes in the future. I leave it in the hands of the higher power. What motivates you in general? Love. Love in the biggest meaning of this word. Not only just love for a husband or for a child, but just love in general. Because I think it is the biggest, the most powerful, the most intense force on our planet. And if love wouldn't exist, people probably also wouldn't exist. Also, love for animals. Love for my favorite dogs, the Great Danes. Love for nature. Today in the morning we have a beautiful weather and sunshine here. Today I woke up and saw the blooming of crocus. I have crocus in different colors, the grey, white, yellow and purple ones. It's such a big joy. It's love. They are blooming so we could enjoy them. I also think the love of the higher power towards us is very important as well. We, the people, do so many bad things that I think without love of the higher power towards us, the world probably would have disappeared a long time ago. So I think God loves us if He is patient with all our issues. Today at our training, two more people received the right to teach psychological pottery. Yes, I'm very happy about it. Me too. Can you please say some wishes or advice for them? Of course, it comes out automatically out of my previous words. Be yourself and love. Is there any question that you want to answer, but I never asked you about it yet? Oh, this is the most difficult question I have ever been asked in my life. You know, Irina, you ask such detailed, deep, meticulous questions. So nobody else have ever asked me the more difficult questions than you ask. So maybe let's end here now. Thank you very much. Thank you. I wish you to have a good health, happiness, a long life, and creative success at work. And we will be coming back to your trainings with great pleasure. Thank you. Yes, you guys are better come back here again. I will turn you into frogs. Thank you, Alicia.